Books and buses. We talk to Linzi from Bus Different. We have a look around her fantastic bus. We talk to Jess at the Book Nook in Cwmcarn. And we go on a picnic, a well-being walk through the sand dunes, and do a litter pick. Welcome to the Sahawi Sessions. Hello everyone, how are you doing? How did you find the heat last week? Did you enjoy it? Did you think, look, it's summer, we expect heat. It gets hot on the continent, so why are we making a fuss? Or did you struggle with it? Because I think it was hotter than it's ever been before, actually. So I was driving to the coast on Thursday evening, and it was 36 degrees in my van at 6 p.m, which is pretty unheard of, I think, in Wales. So there were times when I thought it was a little bit too hot, to be quite honest. But however you found it, it's cooler now. Coming up this week, you may have seen our trailer. We have got so much. We have a group of ladies from around the UK doing a litter pick, a walk, having a lovely picnic that was partly sponsored by the Eden Communities, and forming a lovely community. We speak to Linzi from Bus Different. She also runs a different human design ADHD and a different podcast official. So that's Linzi. I'll put some links in the comments below if you're watching on YouTube to her Instagram and website and so on. So I spoke to Linzi, who lives on a bus, and she has designed a book sharing area, I guess you'd call it, in the downstairs of her double-decker. And she lives on the top deck. It's absolutely fascinating bus. It's got this really welcoming vibe to it as well. And Linzi just oozes energy and passion for helping people who are neurodiverse. She is an ex-teacher, so she has worked a lot with young people who are neurodiverse. She is herself as well. She certainly presents with her ADHD, which is quite clear. And it was quite funny in the interview how we were both sort of really highly excited to speak to each other and so on. So Linzi's a fascinating character. I'll be playing that shortly. We then speak to another volunteer at the small Book Nook in Cwmcarn Institute. So we'll be talking with Jess about why she started to volunteer to run a bookshop in Cwmcarn. And it's fascinating how this local school has got involved and how people can go and buy books from her and just pay what they can, which is fantastic, because if you are struggling but you like a good read, I can highly recommend. There are lots of genres there, and Jess is all too happy to help you out. So we'll be speaking with her as well. Now, I didn't get to the Cwmcarn Carnival on the weekend, but it sounded like it was a fantastic experience. I couldn't go because I was hosting the hike. Now, the hike that I'm talking about, I will come back and speak to you later after you have listened to the ladies with the books. So without further ado, I'm going to take you to Linzi and then Jess to listen to what they had to say. So can you tell me who you are and all about Bus Different 2026?
My name is Linzi, and I run a platform called A Different Human Design and Bus Different, and we tour around connecting community, offering wellbeing, mental health advice, specifically talking about ADHD, autism, and all of the neurodivergence labels.
So what's your background, Linzi?
My background is in specialist education, so that's how I was introduced to the labels like ADHD and stuff, realising that I myself am also ADHD and autistic. So I started teaching over 15 years ago, and then began my platform about 4 years ago. Then the bus came along about 2 years ago, so we're expanding.
You've got quite a big library as well on board, so your bus is quite heavy as well. So
Yeah.
where do you get your books from, and Do you lend them? Do you swap? How does it work?
So it is. It was created as a book swap, but very relaxed. You know, people come on and they don't realise that it was a book swap. You don't need a book to swap. My passion is literacy and helping people build those literacy skills. I think because I've worked with reluctant learners. I've built the skill set of how to kind of draw people in, and not everybody is into reading, and that's fine. But I feel like reading as a skill is really important. So the idea was to recreate that excitement, you know, it's novelty. When I was younger, when the book bus used to come round to the school, it was like, that was my favourite thing. So being at festivals, you always find the book lovers. Some people don't get it. Some people are in their element.
I have one I might want to swap, actually. I
Excellent.
usually take one or two with me.
You're very welcome to. And you don't even need to swap one. We've got plenty in storage. So people donate the books. So
Right.
I've got loads and loads of boxes that I want to get rid of this summer.
And where do you, because you've got a very big vehicle here and you live in it, so where do you spend most of your time?
I have been over the winter. I was on like a private car park. So that was absolutely beautiful because it's like a life of two halves. When I'm traveling, I have to pack everything down and it's quite simple and things don't look as tidy as I would like because things are stored in boxes and stuff.
Your books and so on?
Yeah, I mean, the books, as long as everything's wedged tight, they stay on the shelves while I'm driving. So yeah, I've been parked up in a car park over the winter, but for now, for the next 3 or 4 months, I'm on the road and I'll be traveling the UK. And then,
So as somebody with neurodivergence, how does it feel when you are out and about in all these festivals with all these people?
well, I have my social battery.
I better not zoom in on that for obvious reasons.
But yeah, I love it because I'm an introverted extrovert. Is that right? Where it's like I love being social, but I find that my energy levels definitely get drained. So this is obviously the first day that we're kind of really open to the public. So by Sunday, I'm sure I'll be feeling it. But I have the week in between to recover, and then obviously it's the next festival. And I always find that it fills your cup having these conversations with people. So
that's good to hear.
sometimes although your energy levels are depleted, it's not necessarily a bad thing.
Do you have festivals booked for most of the season?
Yeah, for this year, yeah. I think there's one weekend that's not booked from now until the first weekend of September. So I think there were about 10 or 11 different festivals.
And when did you start your season?
This was the first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. This is why you're all ready to go now.
Yeah,
but fresh.
Energy levels up here.
Oh.
You'll see me at the end of that. I mean, I shaved my head for charity this year. Well, and also to help with the running of this bus. So by the end of the summer, it'll probably have all dropped out again. Just from the stress. I'll be all dishevelled.
You're an amazing person. You've got so much energy right now. Anyway, it's lovely to speak to you. Thank you very much. Thank you. This is the Book Nook at Cwmcarn Institute. Some of you might know about Oakdale Institute, which was taken down brick by brick and rebuilt in St Fagans. Well, this is Cwmcarn Institute, which is still going strong. And the Book Nook was a little reading corner and bookshop that's part of that. And it's run by Jess. Jess, would you like to come in and talk to us? Hello. Hello. So this is Jess. So tell us about yourself, Jess, about the Book Nook and why you're doing what you're doing.
Okay, so my name is Jess, and this was my idea about a year ago. I worked for Waterstones for just under 10 years. So my background is in books and children's books, and I did a lot of work with publishers and events. It was, amazing. So when I heard that Abercorn Library was one of the libraries that was due to close, it really enraged me because this is an area that is just it's quite deprived, even if you don't realize that it is. And I didn't realize that, even though I've lived in the area for my entire life. I didn't realize it until I was a school governor and I saw what these children face. So my friend said that they were going to try and get the local institute, which is where this is actually based, up and running. They were going to do events and whatnot. And she said, oh, and it's got a library. And I was like, it's got a library. I've lived here all my life and I never realized. So I came to a meeting. I said, I can do this. let's not run it as a library because the space is small. Your stock will stagnate. It'll become quite, stagnated very
Mhm.
quickly. Let's do it as a community bookstore, but let's do it on a pay what you can basis. So anybody can come in, choose a book, choose 1, 2, 3, whatever, and then pay what they can. If I'm not here, they pop the money into a letterbox on the door, or they can give it straight to me. There's no pressure. So yeah, we started it, and it's gone absolutely amazing. I think for the building we've raised just over £2,000,
Wow.
which is astronomical.
And how
It's
long have you
brilliant.
been doing this?
A year. So a
Mm.
year, 3 weeks ago. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. So yeah, and then from that we have done story times. We did story times at Christmas. We've done a dinosaur story time. We've done quite a few story times for the local primary school. They've got 3 resource bases, so they've brought their children across with different levels of ALN. We go upstairs to our lounge, we read a story, and then they just play. And the building is so friendly in the sense of if they break something, it really doesn't matter. We just like that they're coming out of the school, they're coming into the local community, they're having a story, and they're having a great time.
That sounds fantastic, especially that the school are using it. And just to clear up, ALN is additional learning needs.
Yes.
So it's fantastic that you're reaching out to the school as well.
Thanks.
And I know that you're open at different times because it's voluntary run.
Yes.
But can you tell us where your times are advertised and where we can find you on social media?
Of course. So we're on Facebook as the Book Nook, Cwmcarn. The village hall itself has a separate Facebook page, and that's called Cwmcarn Institute and Miners Hall. And we're also on Instagram as the Book Nook, which is what I run, and I recommend books on there as well.
Fantastic. Thank you for talking to us.
That's okay.
Well, aren't they just so inspirational? Both Linzi and Jess are fabulous. Now, on to the weekend. We had some funding from the Eden Communities project to bring community together. We didn't do the big lunch on the official date of 5 to the 7th of June. I was away at that time. And instead, try and get in a group of people from all around the UK in one place in one weekend. It's quite tricky. So I hosted some fantastic ladies that I have met previously for a walk along Merthyr Mawr through the dunes to the sea. We did a litter pick on the way, so we took part in the big help out. Some of our ladies do litter picks in their own communities where they're from. But it was great to get together. And the whole point of this was to create friendship and a community. Now, I believe we've already sort of created that. It was cementing it perhaps a little bit more. But just to expand on that, firstly, the Eden Communities, they help with the support of certain supermarkets. Certainly the Co-op helped us with some vouchers for our drinks. So our big picnic, our lunch was a big picnic, which was fantastic. And it was by local caterers, Purchase and Hobby, who are based in Cefn Forest in Blackwoods, and they are absolutely amazing. Our picnic was fantastic. If you're watching this on YouTube, you will see some pictures of that in the little film that I'm going to show. So as part of that, we did the big help out, which was a litter pick, and we aimed to pick up 3 pieces of litter each from the path from the dunes to the sea. I don't think there'd be much there, and to be fair, there wasn't. It was really good. But as we got closer to the beach, I guess as you'd expect, lots of other beaches coming together with Ogmore and Porthcawl, there were some things flying around, and we actually had a whole carry bag full. So just a little note, please do not leave your rubbish. And if you do put it in a bin, please make sure it goes right in the bin, because seagulls will try and get it out. Also, the wind will blow a lot of stuff away, and it's really dangerous for wildlife and also looks awful. So please do not drop litter. I just don't get why people would be so lazy, personally. Anyway, this group of ladies. So we met online during COVID. As you know, we weren't allowed to go out very far just to get our allotted exercise period. So we started doing some virtual walks. Some people were doing virtual runs. So I think we did John O'Groats to Land's End. Well, it was one of the first ones we did. And a group of us formed our own little group where we could chat to each other, because we couldn't meet up in person. Now, because this was a UK-wide initiative, started by somebody else with a virtual walking and running, there were people from all over the place. So we have now cemented this community of ladies who walk. We're called the Walkie Talkie Friends, and we are from the 4 corners of the UK. So staying with me on the weekend, we had people from Scotland, we had people from the north of England, from Leeds, from Nottingham, from Derbyshire, right over to the east, to Norwich, Norfolk, from everywhere. And it was fantastic. And what we have done is we tend to meet up a few times a year in person. The first time we met in person, I think, was 2021, where there was a north meet and a south meet. And it was incredible because these ladies who'd been chatting online and had shared quite a lot about themselves over the COVID period suddenly met in person. We were sort of strangers in a way, and yet we weren't, because we'd been chatting online. I suppose that's how online dating works in a way. And we formed this brilliant bond. So we have done lots of meets since. We've done the Supernova and the Kelpies, the 5K there. We have done, we've been to York, to Scotland, to Berwick, to London recently, and now we've done a Welsh one. So it's quite an unusual story, but it just shows that friendship can be really strong. It can really help with your well-being and your mental health to have people that you trust, that you can offload to, that you can go to support each other, and also you can celebrate each other's successes. I think it's really important that we have somebody that will celebrate with us and say, I knew you could do it, or that looks great, or congratulations, whatever it is. It's great to have those people in your life. And with our CIC, that's what we aim to do. Now, I'll put a little video at the end as well on how our CIC works. We have already now got together our plan. We have applied for our first bit of funding, and we hope to help people 25 and under to access funding, which will not be paid as a direct grant, cash-wise, but we will be paying for local people in the sort of Caerphilly Borough type area to provide some wellbeing services, anything that makes you feel better. Now, we'll also be doing some taster days, and there will be a launch event. So keep posted, so keep watching. I will post details of that. That will probably be early autumn. Our wellbeing taster days will be where people can come and play board games, chat, make friends, try out a new skill or a craft. But also tucked away will be somebody who is offering some kind of support. Now, that could be a different person each time, but it will be around either counselling, therapy, that kind of thing, but talking therapies. So that will be on a drop-in basis. So the young people don't feel they're coming just for therapy as such. It gives them a chance to come into a place and socialise, but also slope off and get some one-to-one support should they want it. And we're really excited to be launching this. Again, I will tell you more about it in time. But for now, we'll have a little look at that video of us going to the beach in Merthyr. It's just a really quick one. And I will leave you with that and the video on how it works, how the CIC works. As far as the books and buses go, I'd love to have your feedback on those, and I'd love it if more people supported the Book Nook and your local libraries. Caerphilly Borough, and the surrounding boroughs are closing libraries right, left and centre. please use them. They are fantastic hubs for learning, for just spending some nice quiet time. I tend to take my granddaughter every couple of weeks. We have some time after school where she chooses some books. She plays with the toys. We sit, we chat. I might read a book and have a coffee while she's playing and reading and choosing books. And it's just a great way to get children into the actual feel and texture of a book. I'd also like to know, what books do you like? What genres are you into? Do you belong to a book club? And if so, give us a shout out. Where is your book club? How can people join? What does it cost? What do you do? If you think you'd like to join a book club, then please get in touch. If you find it tricky to find somewhere for you, I certainly know of a few that I can perhaps point you in the right direction for. But yeah, what books do you like? Are you an author? Are you thinking of becoming an author? Please let us know and get in touch. But for now, I will leave you with the videos I mentioned. Thank you for listening. The Sahawi sessions are part of the Yellow Rhino brand.